Hi everyone, it's Kay from the Paper Shed. Hope you're all doing well today. Thanks so much for coming back and joining me. We're back with the fifth and final week of the White Rose Detective Agency, Chapter 2, The Case of the Peculiar Butler. And wow, what a story. Did anybody guess who the killer was? Because I definitely didn't. It's just been such a fabulous month of creativity and inspiration, and it's all thanks to you guys for joining in, and the messages that you've left, all of that stuff is I'm just so thankful for each and every message that I've received. It's been so inspiring, so creative. Everybody's done such an immense job of their journals, and it's just been fabulous. I have to say a massive thank you to Rose for creating the story, and what a fabulous job that she did. And a big, huge thanks to Mandy for the actual digitals and, creating the imagery for all of the storyline. It's just been fantastic. I'm so chuffed with this. It's just a humongous book. And I've loved every minute of it. I just can't tell you how enjoyable it's actually been. Now, this is probably the biggest one I've ever done. I've never done a 5 signature journal before. But that really stems from where I got into junk journaling and why. I've always been a diary keeper from a young age. It's something I've always done. Now, I don't journal as in the modern day journaling, with all the stickers and the colours and everything else. I diary keep, and I keep notes on absolutely everything. I have a notebook in every room I go in. I write things down all the time, and it's not because I'm forgetful, it's because I want to remember it as it is. And I don't go a day without writing something down. And I got into junk journaling through a progression in papercraft, really. I started off with making cards many years ago, when I was still young. And then I got into doing sort of wedding invitations and party invitations, that sort of thing, celebrations. And then that got me into making memory books for people, photo albums and the like. And I've made many books in my years of paper crafting. And that really led me to junk journaling. Now, I've been junk journaling for quite a few years. I'm not new to it, but I still don't know everything. I'm not an expert by any shape, form, or any imagination. I'm just not. Every book I make is a learning curve to me. And even when I look at this, it's beautiful. I absolutely love it. And I want you to feel that too. But this isn't something that I would make normally in general. This is, it's a visual thing, I think. It's a storybook. It's just absolutely wonderful, but it isn't something that I would make again like this. And I think when we all finish a journal, even now, even years on, I still think to myself, there's things that I would do differently. But that's just core progression. There's nothing wrong with thinking, oh, I wish I'd have done this different, or I wish I'd have changed that, or I wish I'd have done this way, because that's a learning curve. It's just a classic learning curve. And as much as I'm thoroughly have enjoyed making this, I would probably not make another book this size. And it's not because I don't like it. I love it. And the fact that it's got a story in it, and there is journaling pages in there. There's plenty of journaling space. Because I'm a writer, a journaler. I tend to leave a lot of writing space in my journals. I don't cram them full of stuff. I like to see what I've written, and I like to feel the pages and all of that. So it's a completely different experience for each and every one of us. And I just hope that you're all as thrilled as making what you've made as I am with this one. And I can't wait to put this and add this to my book collection on my bookshelf, because it's just going to look beautiful. But again, I would not do the same thing again. I think what I would do next time is make volumes, So week 1 would be volume 1, and so on until I finish the story. And the reason for that is I like to pick mine up and be able to use it. Now, this probably isn't something that I would use. I would flip through this and have a look through it, of course, but it isn't something that I would tend to use much in respects to that. And I didn't make it for that purpose. The same probably as you guys. You're probably not making this with any sort of purpose, just the fact that you're enjoying the process of a different type of journal. Now, when I made this one, it only has 3 signatures in it, and but it's soft, you know, so it's pliable. And you can get into it, you can lie them flat, you can take them out because they're on elastic if you want to. And I just thoroughly enjoy this type of thing rather than this type of thing. It's a hardback, but I for all of that, I absolutely love the way that it's come out, and I don't think that I would do anything any differently, apart from the fact that I would make them smaller volumes. I would definitely make a smaller volume and have 5 rather than 1 large one. And one of the reasons is because it's heavy. It is so heavy. All of that paper is, but I just love it. I absolutely love it and adore it. So I hope you all feel the same way about your journal. As I said, I can't wait to actually see it on my shelf and adore it from afar. Now, I did manage to keep my gaiter mouth quite shallow, to be fair. It's not that bad. And it is on the first hole of my buckle. Now, this is something I would definitely do again. I love this closure. I love the fact that there's a pen in it for you to write. And, it's quite easily opened and closed. I thoroughly enjoy that. I love the cover. The cover's absolutely come out beautiful, and with all the little bits of metal, it's just nice. I just love it. So we did week 1, and we did our little booklet here. And as we flip through the story, we've got our ID cards for our detectives there, which I think was Mandy's week 1 make. We then have just done pockets and cards within the storyline. It starts with the story of finding the body and the detectives going through. Got a belly band here. I like that, actually. I do like a belly band. And plenty of writing space in these pages here. Then we come to our first sort of middle section. Now, I always tend to like to do a middle section. I wasn't sure about this one, so we did a hidden pockets within the picture and added in some ephemera, which I've done with, although you can't see. And then we matched the picture up with a second piece and created pockets. And I quite like the way that came out. That was of Winterbourne Hall. We've got more space here. I've just added some bits and pieces of inking and things just to create a little bit of interest on there. And then we came to our other belly band, which was just a plain belly band, and I've got a nice little large journaling card in there. And then with a dangle on. So a little bit more, and then this is the end of our signature. Loved this pocket, actually. And the clusters that we made as well. That was made in some of the videos. This piece here was the flip, which we removed the flip, if you remember, because it was getting too bulky. And that's just some paper clipped ephemera on there. Now, week 2 started with the murder and the part of the investigation and what they found. So we made our policy envelope here that adorns these file folder pockets, and I loved the way that came out. So that was another video. Got another pocket there with a cluster and another cluster here. And then we did this was one of my favourites, making these old document envelopes, and that was done in one of the videos from week 2. So we then came to this page, and I did exactly the same here, where we just did 2 copies of the same paper and put floating pockets on the top with a couple of bits of ephemera in there, and then I put a little tab on this one. This is a tuck spot, which we haven't got anything in, but I literally cannot afford to put anything else in here. This was our bit that we cut off from the first one of our flap, and I quite like these pockets. They've got quite, they hold quite a bit in there. There's plenty of cards in here and more ephemera in those pockets there. And then we come to the belly band with our main detective Libby on there, and some tags that we made. More clusters there. And then this was our floating waterfall. Not floating, what did we call it? I can't think what we called it now. Our staggered waterfall. So we made the waterfall like so, and we managed to get loads in this one with a bit of writing space at the bottom for any evidence. I love the way that came out actually. Made this one into a little tuck spot there with some writing space. Same here. And then this was Mandy's second week's make, which was this little notepad type folder here, which was just lovely. So that was one of the freebies, which was great. Then we came to week 3, and we did our string pocket here, and we made these ID tags, which were the pictures of the suspects, and then you can flip to their story by going through that. And there's pockets and bits of ephemera in there too. And then we came to our evidence board, which was Mandy's week 3 make, which was absolutely fantastic. It was one of Mary's from the group. She did this in the very first chapter. So Mandy recreated it, and the only thing that I did differently was I put this acetate window on. So you can lift that up and you can use these little bits as pockets, which is just fabulous. I loved making this actually. It just seems ages ago now though, since I made anything. And we've got some blood splatter and some thumbprints here and there. More writing space. We've got some evidence envelopes here, which you can put stuff in with an evidence attached to it, and filled those out with a few stamps. Same again there. Loads more journaling spots. Then this is with the belly band, the string belly band that we did. This was done in one of the videos, and I reused this envelope, which I grunged up a little bit more than I did the first time, and I absolutely loved the way it came out. Absolutely gorgeous. I would definitely make more of those. But I love that. That's really cute. I cut some pieces of ephemera out, and Tuppence and Watson. And then we came to our little, where's the end of my string? There we go. And then this is a piece, I can't open it. This is a piece that you fold up and down with lots of journaling spaces in here, and some evidence tags. Now these evidence tags were Mandy's week 3 make. All her videos are linked in my videos, so you'll be able to find those easy enough if you're coming across this at a later date. Okay, we'll just leave that. And that's got a little police badge on there. And then that was the end of our week 3. Now our week 4 was the suspicious activity week. So this was where we got the story about how the detectives were thinking and why the suspicions were towards these people, and getting all of the evidence from all of the witnesses that were at the party. So we have lots of flip out cards this week with the people who were interviewed, and bits of coffee stain in places and some boo-boo tape in places, just to add more interest. And then we had the sleuths at work section, which describes, part of the investigation and where people were giving their story as to where they were. This was one of my favourite pages. So this was all of the evidence that was collated, and this tells you all about it here, where it all came from and why it was evidence. I just loved that. And instead of folding the tab underneath to create a sort of rise or a thicker part, I literally just put it on as one and just folded these back for journaling space, and it just saved an awful lot on the bulk. So yeah, that was something new. I've not done that before. So we have plenty of journaling space here. Then we have the report from the warbler watchers, which are the ladies here that watch all of the birdies. Lots of journaling space again there. And as I say, the storyline was fantastic. So we made this in one of the videos as well. This is like another belly band, and this is holding a big journal card. And then Mandy did an extra little make of this case crime logbook, which was fantastic. I thoroughly enjoyed making that. And again, all of her videos are linked in my videos. So we did some paper clips this week as well, some hidden paper clips, just a little quick thing. We also did the tagtastics, where we used all of the tags that were left from previous weeks and did something a little different to just popping the tags into a pocket. So we first off made this belly band, which has 2 tuck spots on it, and then made these belly band to hold much bigger pieces of ephemera there. Another hidden paper clip with a set of keys on. I thoroughly enjoyed making those, actually. It was quite enjoyable. Another tag bit, which was in one of the videos, where we just popped the tags on to make a pocket there, which I like the way that came out, actually. Thoroughly enjoyed it. And another paper clip for you to add a little bit more on. And then we did this little box where we created this in last week's video, and that just went on the back of my page. And then I started doing this over the weekend, and I just got it completed. And the reason I haven't made any videos is because I haven't really created anything new for it. So I did the cover. This was one of the makes that we did last week, and I've just included that there. I just needed a focal point for this beginning of the story. So we're now solving the mystery, and we've got Tuppence and Watson here, all taking notes in the drawing room, with some more cards in the little back pocket there. And then all I've done this week is I've just put some cards that are relevant to the storyline into pockets, and I've used tags to do this as well. So I made the pockets out of the tags, and then I've just added the journaling spots in there, the journaling cards that are relevant to the story that's on this page. And I've done that throughout. So I've made more here, made a little pocket there, Did I stick that in or has it stuck in? There we go. It's just a little journal card really. I just made a little pocket in that bit as well. More storyline here with the pictures to match this storyline. Same here. This is where we find out actually who the murderer is and why and how. And then we went on to just tying up all the loose ends of the story. So, you know, what happened with, you know, Caroline Smythe, who was the butler's wife, because that was why, you know, there was a problem with the doctor. So I've just added the pictures that are relevant to there. Then we went on to Jack and who he met and bits of the storyline there. And then we went on to, who was that now? This was Mona and her relationship with Mr. Pennington before he died, and paperwork. It's all relevant to the story. And again, through here, getting the butler in the drawing room, getting him to smoke his cigar. This was the present that he was given via Charles. And then this was the case solved with a few journaling spots and some pockets there. Then we had our police department arresting officer report, which I've just filled some of it out by hand and then did some stamping. More journaling space there. That's an actual page. That's not something I've done. Then we had the waterfall, which Mandy created today. There we go. So got all the storyline there. And what I did is instead of putting the suspects on there, I put all of the evidence on there. So we've got the evidence tab at the front, then the fingerprints that we saw, the case that Jack ran away with, the mysterious figure, the box of cigars and the letter that was found and the poison. And then we have our murderer at the bottom here. I thoroughly loved that, and I've never made one of these before. So Mandy, I've got to say, as much as you didn't know what you were doing, we worked it all out. So that's fabulous. And it stays closed pretty much. It's pretty good. We also had in the freebie this week the Scotland Yard order of arrest form, which again I have literally just filled out, put a date on and a case number and a signature and a bit of boo-boo tape, and you know, I've sort of grunged it up a little bit, make it look a bit older than what it is. More journaling space. Then we have our this was in the freebie as well this week. We have our breaking news story from the Kentmere Daily with our suspect killer there. And then this is all journal space here. And I quite liked the way that came out. And then on the very back, we had the bit from the front. This was what we made last week. And I've got a journaling card in there, case closed, with Tuppence and Watson there. And there they all are walking away after the case is solved. So I'm actually quite chuffed with the way that that's come out. Now, I couldn't fit these in anywhere. I need to find somewhere for them to go, really. I'm probably going to pop that here. And then we could possibly, have we got something? There is an empty back page or front page somewhere. So there. So we can look at the suspicious activity there as well. So I think that'll go there. And then this was something I removed from the first week and I still haven't managed to get that done. So, but yes, I'm quite chuffed with the way that that has come out. And I'd so hope that you are really, if the storyline's fabulous, and I hope that you've all enjoyed it. And hopefully Rose may do another chapter next year and bring a new storyline out, which would be absolutely fabulous if we could add to these volumes of suspicious things. I just love it. I mean, that's one and that's two. So, like I said, I definitely do things a little different next year if we do that. So that would be something to look forward to. So I just want to say thanks again to every one of you that has commented and encouraged me to continue on with the videos. I much appreciate all of your comments and your support. It's been absolutely fantastic. I hope you have a great week finishing off your week 5 signature, and I look forward to seeing all of the finished flip throughs of everything that you've done on the Facebook group. Don't forget about the amazing prizes that are available for anybody that has taken part and posted their pictures with the hashtag the White Rose Detective Agency Chapter 2. If you add those to your pictures, they have to be different photos of different makes for it to count as more than one entry, but you will get an entry into the prize draw for each individual different make. So please make sure that you use the hashtag. Go and support Mandy with that, and I'm sure that she will be doing the winners video. I would suggest it'd be the second week in June, I think. I don't know for sure, but watch out for it because she'd definitely be doing one. And yeah, so thank you for everybody. 2 extra videos coming out today, which is for a collaboration with Shirl's Creations, and it's the steampunk collaboration. My video is coming out on the 2nd of June, which is today. And then I've got another one that'll be coming out a little bit later in the day, which is the collaboration that Mandy is taking part in with Non-Stop Paper Crafts, Suzanne. And I'm taking part in that as well. So I'll be bringing out a video today, a video next week, and a video the week after. And then that will be me until August, I'm afraid. I'm back in the UK from mid-June, and I won't be back until mid-August. So there'll be nothing from me until August. But I do hope you all have a fantastic summer, because I'm going to. I can't wait to see the kids, and I will fill you all in when I come back in August. So thanks so much for a fantastic May. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. Take care, everyone. Thanks so much for watching. Speak to you soon. Bye for now.